What's up, y'all? Shuffle. Today we are going to take a look at a viewer run. This is from Tatsu Izumi, who is one of my Discord moderators, and she also makes emotes that I put on my Twitch channel, so big, mega, super thank you. And this video has been sitting in my inbox for almost 2 months, and I'm just finally getting to it because I am so backlogged / lazy. Alright, we're taking a look at a Necromancer boss mission, so if you don't want to see Necro, I understand. We're going to take 4 Jesters. I'm pretty excited to see this because I have played Divina Commedia, which is 3 Jesters and an Antiquarian. I think that team is actually pretty good. So I want to see how it does without the Antiquarian. Also, this is an Apprentice Necromancer, so just looking at this already, I feel like this team may be harder than normal to pull off, just because Divina Commedia gets better late game when you have more speed trinkets and Tempting Goblet and stuff like that, which are pretty hard to find. So I want to see how this does at Apprentice. And let's take a look. I'm not a fan of going in for tough ring, but it's fine. We're just showing off. Okay, Compulsive Coast Scrounger. So we're level, like I said, we're Apprentice, so we don't have that much in the way of, you know, big quirks that we have access to. We're just kind of hoping we get lucky. And obviously trinkets aren't, you know, it's whatever the game gives us at this point. This is a pretty solid file for Apprentice, it's looking like. I am surprised to not see solo and finale. Maybe these will change. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe it's just Dirk Stab all over the place. Then we have, obviously... Actually, it makes sense if this is like the support Jester. And it's just spamming, you know, Ballad and Stress Heal. And then I can, like, do Dirk Stab if needed. Speed Trinket. No, that's Dodge. Okay, it's Camo Cloak, so we have an extra Dodge. We're going to be up to 40, which is pretty high. Then we have Recovery Charm, which is just really good in general. Especially when you don't have a healer, this lets food be a lot stronger. The Camo Cloak is 15 dodge in High Torch and minus 20 stun resist. There are not many things in Apprentice that can stun you. I think there's like maggots and maybe the shield bone dudes, but those are up front. So this should be pretty safe in the back. And also getting 40 dodge at Apprentice is a very nice number because most accuracies are around the, I think, 80% range. So this is pretty strong. Let's take a look at who else. Okay, this one is definitely a damage Jester. I just saw Deadly, and then I see the crit dice. That's awesome. Tone Deaf, very interesting. That Jester has Tone Deaf. We have Hard Skin, Tough, and Deadly. This is a great setup. It's very tanky Jester here. We only have Harvest and... Again, we have the buffs here. So I guess these two, that's interesting. Okay, so you can have these two just jam out on Ballad for the first turn, and that's going to be really strong going forward. And then we have Finale after the first two, presumably Finale, and get thrown to the back, and then this one can do it too. So that's interesting. We do have crit. So we do want to do damage on this Jester. Tough and Soft, that's still a net gain. This looks like a Butcher Circus mod where you can put the Butcher Circus trinkets into the base game, which is pretty fun just because all the circus trinkets are mostly upsides. They do have some downsides, but they're just really good in terms of power level. Definitely not balanced for normal gameplay, so it's going to be funny to see these. We have Rabies probably on both these Jesters, so that's going to be a lot more damage. We have both Bleeds. The first one's probably going to have to run Dirk Stab, I'd imagine, and probably not any of the Bleeds, but I'm surprised to not see solo. The thing with Divina Commedia is solo just is kind of like the engine because solo lets you get away with dodge tanking everything, and we don't have dodge tanking if we're just running like all damage. But we do have 2 Ballads, so we're going to run over everything in like 2 turns most likely. Then Unholy Hater's going to do very well here. Okay. Another Camo Cloak. Monkey's Paw, so that's just the same thing I'm pretty sure. It's like 3 crit and 15 dodge. Ancestor's Candle, pretty nice to see early on. We have nothing really beneficial in the ways of damage quirks, but that's fine. We just have some really good trinkets, and then we have the same loadout as the other Jester, and we have Rabies again. Okay. I appreciate being able to see this. The Fools will be rushing in. Let's go, Fools. Both stacks of food, we're going to need it. The nice part about taking Recovery Charm on one character is you can pass it around. So one Jester can need to heal by food, and then they can eat a bunch of food, then give the charm to someone else. So you're never at a disadvantage by trinket swapping, which is pretty nice. Provision loadout looks pretty good. Don't even need medicinal herbs because we have 4 jesters. That's just for your basic protection, so spiders and bandits and stuff. This looks fine.
Mastery over life and
Let's skip ahead.
perfective it.
Sorry, Wayne.
The devil walks these halls.
The devil.
Only the mad or the desperate go in search of him.
And double check, make sure I'm recording. I am. Okay. It's always a scary moment. Like, wait a minute, did I turn everything on? I did. Dodge, very skillful. It's nice when you get these kinds of boss missions because you can just skip half the dungeon. It's basically a short dungeon. Because you're just going, actually, oh. I didn't count. Let's look here. So the boss is, what is that, 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boss is down here. So that'll be interesting. Yeah, sometimes you just get like these wheeled layouts where it's just one hallway of 12 rooms and you just can't do anything about it, so you have to fight literally everything before the boss, and that just sucks. This should be a pretty solid... This is actually one of the most favorable things to see as this team, because we have 2 stress healers, we only have 1 stress caster, and they can all bleed. So that's pretty nice. Turn 1 finale. Why not?
Decimated.
How hard did these hit? What are the chances?
Obliterated.
It's like 7 to 13. 12 to 19.
Decimated.
So it's about a 50-50 to take these down, and it works. That's pretty cool. Don't even have to open with Ballad. That's interesting.
Their formation is
They didn't even get a turn. Okay.
maintain the offensive.
Pretty cool. Oh, 1 sec. Okay, we're back. I had some cat shenanigans. Figure out where my train of thought was. But it's cool. I think I was talking about passed around the recovery charm.
Finding the stuff is only the first
Torch
step.
is maxed.
Now it must be carried home.
I turned on my microphone. Forgot how loud I had it. Come on, into the room. I was talking about the pathing. So it is nice to not have to run through straight 12 rooms or something like that and just deal with all the uncertainty. Getting some favorable starts. Double Dirk Stab. Harvest, why not, yeah.
A singular strike.
Crit's pretty beneficial too because we are able to push the... Jeez Louise. Is that the rabble? No, that dude has prot.
Another one falls.
What was the crit chance on that? Had to have been like 15-ish. 17, yeah.
Another one falls.
Nice. See, you just look like a god if all this happens. They get surprised, they go last, they miss. They get their most ineffective attacks. Although the missing is by design, because they have so much,
Eradicated.
what is it, dodge. Then just annihilate these dudes. Let me get to stress heal. I wonder if she has the district. Do these jesters have the district? Because that would make this a lot more consistent. It feels like they have the district. I think their base speed is what, 8? When we saw it in the roster, 8's pretty high, but they're level 2. Actually, they don't get any speed points though. Maybe they do start at 8. I don't know. I'm gonna check. Haha. Okay, they start at 7, and they're at 8 because they have level 3 weapons, which means there is no Jester District. Okay, confirmed. The heck is that? It's like half an Onyx. I can't understand some of these mods. Again, getting enemies that can bleed. Very favorable. Pretty hard to outspeed Madman. What's he at? 9 speed?
Festering fear consumes the mind.
Okay. Easy stab. He's gonna chain stabs here.
A brilliant
Kinda sucks that the back jesters didn't go first. That's actually a good choice there. Because you could use Ballad, and Ballad's fine. I would Ballad here,
another abomination.
just to deal with Madman. I definitely would use Ballad there. But one inspiring tune isn't the end of the world, because the front jester has the horror effect. So being able to... Well, I guess we high rolled him anyway, so it didn't matter. But being able to get that buff from Inspiring Tune to slow down the stress accumulation from that. It's pretty nice. It's only 1 point right now, but it's good. It's definitely cool. She's going up. Did I get it wrong? Is the boss on the bottom? Or is the boss up top? I may have gotten it wrong. I'm pretty sure it's in the bottom. We'll see. This is just exploring for fun at this point. I would like to see the Jester in 4 different colors, so I can keep track of which is which. But it's fine. You can see that minty fresh green just doesn't see the light of day. Instead we got these black and red clowns just slightly matching. Not even slightly matching, they are matching.
Promise of safety.
It looks so funny just watching them walk. Treasure. Did not get rid of citrines. The sadness. You always throw away citrines. What is this, man? It's like rigged dungeon encounters. It's always human enemies in the middle where these bleeds get a lot of effect.
Continue the onslaught.
It's interesting in the first fight that Tatsu opened with the 2 like finales or 2 or 3 finales or whatever. And that's just been Dirk stabs on the opener since then. The dodges by design, hitting that front one, 49 dodge, 44 in the back. That's quite a lot.
The blood quickens.
Like a double meaning. The blood quickens when you have a ballad ability that is supposed to quicken the entire party. I'd like to see one of these Jesters have Slice Off. Just for those situations where you don't want to hit that dude. I guess you can hit that dude.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Also surprised we're not... Yeah, can we get him? Okay, good. This one bleeds out? Yeah. Wow.
Gently.
Very efficient.
This is how a life is taken.
Still not getting rid of the citrines. It's like 900 gold we've lost for these 500 gold citrines. Just tune into my Twitch stream, you'll learn how much we hate citrines. Oh, did you just get it? Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I had in the back of my head, I was like, if the boss is down there, am I gonna have to speed it up or like cut it out just to save time? But apparently she did it for me. Thank you. I greatly appreciate this. You have no idea. It's like a tiny sapphire. How much is the tiny sapphire worth? It's like an amethyst because it's purple. What? Was the boss up there? No way.
To follow it.
Why is it a treasure chest? This must be another mod thing.
Confidence surges.
I'm expecting this Necro to go down in literally 2 turns. It could be as easy as 2 turns. It could be,
A decisive pummeling.
was it 2 ballads? Maybe a Dirk stab, unless the Necro goes early. Then you can hit it with a bleed attack or something. And then just 4 finales, and it should be gone. Especially on, I think this is Darkest. So, on Darkest, that means that this Necro should be absolutely toast. It's really just how many crits are we gonna get at this point. It's like a full stack of gold we've lost because we kept these citrines. The absolute greed of these citrines. Oh my goodness. Was it really up top? Is it really up top? We're in a camp. There's an ambush. Okay, yeah, we do find him. I guess we're just clearing out the whole place first. Which is fine. If you have a team that's doing okay and they're healthy and all that, then it's fine to clear out the entire dungeon. Because this way you can get some more stuff. More loot. More chances for good curio. Although we could have just fought the Necro, if that's the case. I got beta too. I thought the Necro's down here. It's probably because the Necro, that room is further right, so it was up there. So it prioritizes right over left, and then bottom over top. But I thought the bottom right corner would be where it's at, not the not the furthest right first, so I guess I learned that too. Maybe this will happen to me at some point. Or maybe it'll happen to you at some point. Now you know. Always the furthest right first, and then the bottom, in that order.
Circle in the dark.
Now we don't have enough food for a feast. Getting some damage on people. The 3-point camp skills are the hardest to use, but then when you have a bunch of jesters, they're all 3 points, so who cares?
Darkness closes in, haunting the heart.
This team is almost never out of position. Almost. It's got enough movement that it doesn't matter. Again, with the human enemies. I'd probably try and snipe this madman.
Powerful blow.
Although we're getting some opening speed instead, or not speed, but opening turns, which is pretty nice. But the reason I would go for the madman first is because I think that gives you... Oh, just resisted. Okay. But accusation, I think, is like plus stress taken until camp, which I think you can actually use the herbs for. Well, we have no herbs in our inventory. Dodge, right? Ooh, JK. This is actually kind of sketch. Especially if they're hitting us, because our best defense is dodging. I mean, that's obvious, right? And then not dodging is obviously bad. But also, we have the recovery charm. The recovery charm is very good. And since we have the recovery charm, but we're out of food, that means we pretty much aren't getting one of our biggest strengths in this party. So that's actually kind of weird. It's kind of crazy. Like, the game knew. It waited. It waited. All the musketeer stands in my Discord, and people throw away musketeer boots. Shameful. Especially keeping citrines. Double shameful. Yeah, since we have no food, we can't make use of this recovery charm, which kind of sucks. There is a small chance. I think there is a chance of a hunger check here. So I think we got the hunger check in the hall before, and it's got like a 1 hall cooldown. This is one of those dungeons where there's just fights everywhere, like in almost every hallway, and then most of the rooms and stuff. Turn 1 finale is kind of like meme territory at this point. I think it used to be like viable or okay, and it just feels like it's worse now. But with the lowered HP that they have since it's darkest, it's actually pretty reliable. Which is surprising, especially against Bone Nobles who have like 12 HP. So if you like Jester, and you're playing on Darkest, or I guess Radiant too, then having the Jester up front to open with Finale is not bad.
Or is it merely
God, this isn't even citrine value. We have like 750 in citrines. We could have had a full stack of gold, and then some. Not that it really matters. Okay, here's the solos. Probably take tune off all of them that have it. I would probably keep Slice Off over Harvest. It's hard to say which one is better. That's what always happens with this character too. Is it's like, do I take Harvest or do I take Slice Off, and which one's better? There's no clear answer. Slice Off has a lot of good upsides, like the high crit rate and the higher base damage and bleed damage. But Harvest isn't like that far behind. Like the bleed on Harvest is a little bit further. It's like 1 point less. It hits 2 things. The damage penalty is only 17% more, which is only like 1 or 2 points. Oh, this dude's toast. He's absolutely toast. It's funny too because the hard part of this fight is that Necro keeps moving back as it summons units. Which means if your team doesn't have a lot of reach and can't keep him up front, then it gets harder to close out the fight. But you have Jester, who is really good at cleaving or just doing damage to ranks 2 and 3. And then has Finale in case he goes all the way back to 4. So we could just build up on him. Yeah, I would solo again. Totally. So we can just build up damage here. And then just super nuke him next fight. That one Jester just happened to be in the way of taking like all this damage, I guess. Is it? Are we doing it? Yeah, it's gone. It's already gone, dude. Is he gonna take like all 4?
With no living sinew to actuate,
Oh, I was supposed to have subtitles on.
bones finally fail.
Oh, god. So, thank you, Tatsu, for sending this in. It was pretty funny. And it was cool seeing Necro get smashed by Jesters. And obviously, if you want to send in your own run, then hit me up on Discord or Twitter with a YouTube link. That is the easiest for me. I appreciate it. And I don't know what the next one is, but I'll see you next time. What's up, y'all? It's Shuffle, and today we are back with another viewer run. This one is from Santa Claus, who is very active in my Discord, so thank you very much for joining and being awesome. This is a run that features 4 antiquarians. There are a couple mods, mostly skins and stuff like that, but nothing that should impact the gameplay directly. It's all mostly cosmetic or quality of life. So we will get started here. This is, like I said, 4 antiquarians. They're going for Necromancer, which is kind of like not even that spoilery anymore. I'm starting to think I might just lift the spoiler restrictions on like the base bosses, just because, you know, it's been so long at this point, so who knows. But anyway, this is, like I said, 4 antiquarians. Let us take a look. The Antiques Roadshow. Ooh, that is loud. Okay, so that's right, I have to pause and look at stuff. Okay, so Unholy Hater, very good in the ruins, obviously. Hippocratic is welcome on Antiquarian, especially at level 1. That's just an extra point of healing, I believe. Then we have the... what is it here? So it looks like Marbles and the... Marbles and the Overture box. Okay. Very cool. So we have... What is it? We have Vapors. We don't have Flash Powder. Or Dodge Vapors. Interesting. So we have Festering. So we have double attacks here. We have Dodge and Survival Guide. I should probably pause here. I'm trying to do everything at the same time. Again, Ruins Adventure, very helpful here. Evasive, just great on Antiquarian. Deadly, not bad on anyone. Irrepressible, pretty cool. All level 1s too, not like level 2s with level 3 stuff. So this is about an average experience. Luminous, there we go. So we have Ruins Tactician. Yeah, this should be our damage Antiquarian. So we have Luminous, which is fantastic. We have Ruins Tactician, cool. We have double Mankind, Hater Slayer combo here. That's interesting. And then this anti, just looking at it, if this one has Ruins Tactician, I would actually give this one some form of damage. The Seer Stone is nice, but I think maybe this one should have got Overture Box. I'm not sure. She's in rank 2. Rank 2 gets hit quite often. She also has Protect Me, Flash Powder. She's probably stabbing. This is definitely our damage Antiquarian. The boss is Unholy and Eldritch too, so... And that is a lot of damage, my goodness. So we have Unholy Hater, fantastic. We have Risk Taker, also fantastic. And then the same damage loadout here. Then we have the Brawler's Gloves and the Legendary Bracer. I would consider something that's not Brawler's Glove for anti, just because her base damage is so low that I don't know how good the scaling is, but my gut reaction is to give her something that's like maybe in the way of crit, and then probably some accuracy. I don't think her accuracy is that good, but she has a lot of damage. She has plus about, what is this, 15, and then 35, and then what is this, 20 or 25? So she's got around 55 or 60 bonus damage. That's nuts. Oh, and Risk Taker, I forgot about that. Slugger too, my goodness. This anti actually almost does real damage. 6 to 8 at level 1 isn't bad. And it's going to be higher. She's going to be pretty close to, God, who's she be close to? Probably like Bounty Hunter damage at this point. It's not bad at all. So we have triple rewards from bosses. I definitely approve, just because the grind is real. I'm actually going to turn this down just a bit. I'm going to pause real quick. So this is going to really mess up my editing here, so I have to take a look real quick. I'm gonna let it go. Okay, I think I can let it go actually. So I have it low enough in my recording settings that it shouldn't be an issue. It's just really loud in my microphone. So this is a lot of food we don't have, well, we have healing, but it's not good healing. So being able to food heal is pretty nice. I don't think we need 24 torches. Honestly, like 14's enough. Probably less than that, like 12 gets you through the dungeon. Sorry about that, I got a text. And yes, Deathblow Resist is in fact a myth, so that is a good name. We have bandages, I guess, in case of cultist brawlers, and then we have the anti-venoms, but we really don't need all this. And it's surprising that we have so many antis and the money's not that high, but obviously we probably just geared all these out. Anything else? I'd probably be taking some holy water, so I'd like to see some holy water. Okay, we got herbs. Okay, holy water. These are for curio, which is good. Shovels. Shovels. Okay. 3 shovels? Probably don't need 3 shovels. So I know that sometimes the recording stuff isn't like optimal, but that's just because there's so many people that once I started doing this series, a lot of people are starting to record and stuff for the first time. So if something looks off or doesn't sound right, you know, I'll do my best to fix it, but don't think less of people for it. It's kind of a pain to set up recording settings and stuff like that. It takes a little bit, and it's not the same for each system. And I'm gonna skip over Wayne here. Perfect.
Walks these halls. Only the mad or the desperate go in search of him.
And yes, obviously recording anything is very taxing. So stuttering's expected, honestly. I remember when I first started recording Darkest Dungeon like 5 years ago on my old computer. I couldn't even run it at like 60 FPS. I had to cap it at 30 just because it, like, the game itself isn't that taxing, but recording anything really does put a strain on your system if you don't have something like built for it. So I appreciate the no music just because that's easier for me to not deal with getting hit with the copyrights. Pretty standard fight here though. The 2 maggots and the spider, I'm not quite sure why they appear together, but this is actually a pretty common role for enemies. I guess they're called mashes or mashups. I'm a big fan of the Sand Aquarian skin.
Foolish horrors. Brought low.
We're taking citrines, that's a mistake, I'm kidding. I am kidding. This dungeon layout's not that good for us, because usually in the ruins, if you have a boss, the layout you're looking to get is like, there's maybe 5 rooms to your left and 4 rooms to your right, and you can just go the left way. But when you have to go through this whole linear thing, that actually takes quite a while. Got a full spider comp. We don't have any undead yet, which is weird because we have all these, you know, these ruins atmospheres, and then we have the unholy synergy quirks, and we're just not finding them. That's a funny face that she makes. Crit spit, didn't even need the mark synergy. Pretty cool, thank you spiders. And this team, like, Anti in general is a character that for most comps she wants to go first and she wants to go early. So I understand that we have, you know, so we got some pretty good trinkets. And I'm a huge fan of scouting, so even though I don't like the Seer Stone on the damage Antiquarian, I still think it's good. Like, it's just good to have Seer Stone. And we put ourselves at risk because, like I was saying, Anti is a character that really wants to go first and set up. She either wants to get, like, Protect Me out early, or she wants to hit the team with Vapors or something like that. So having Anti just slowed down is a little dangerous, especially because... Alright, we're stalling. I dig it. I actually haven't been paying attention. This is the first time someone's actually snuffed on camera like this, I think. So I wasn't even ready to talk about like the proper snuff thing here. Pretty good drop. It is nice to snuff when you get a battle and then have curio to loot. That's like the optimal thing. Usually want 2. If you can get get rid of the citrines. If you can get 2 loot curios, then it's actually really worth, especially with 1 battle. So if you can get all that in one go, then definitely snuff. So that's your snuff tip here. Not bad. Would have hoped for a little more in Torchless, but it's also a... what is it? It's a apprentice mission. There's also a case to go to the left, because Anti has survival guide, so she should be able to have a decent chance of disarming. But I do agree with this. I agree with snuffing, and I agree with walking around in torchless until we need to put the torch back on. So now the extra torches actually make sense since we're snuffing. If we're gonna manipulate light levels, then having all the extra torches is pretty helpful.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted.
Another sarcophagus.
And purpose is made
It's kind of a
clear.
scary roll of enemies for us because, well, the dodge is good. See, rank 2 is just... Rank 2 got targeted both times, right? Yeah. So rank 2 is like the most common one to get hit, so you definitely want her to have a little bit more in the way of speed or, you know, dodge or something like that just to get set up. I would have given this... I would have given the second Antiquarian the Overture box. That's where I would have put it. In this team, like, Antiquarian at Apprentice is kind of difficult. She gets much better later, and she's certainly usable at Apprentice, but Apprentice is definitely her weakest state. And since we don't have too much strong healing, I think we're getting the orange candle from this, so that'll be pretty nice going forward.
Another one.
But since we have pretty limited healing, we can only heal for like 2 or 3 at a time. So we really need to either stall massively with like flash powder spam, which is definitely doable, or we need to hopefully just not get hit in general and dodge stuff so we don't have to heal as often, and then we just eat food. Yeah. This is actually the toughest... This is the toughest part of this team right now. Is, obviously, you know you have to do damage, and then you have damage buttons, and that's fine. You have buff and debuff buttons, that's fine, but when do you heal? Like, this turn, do you heal? I'm kind of leaning towards Festering Vapors, but I'm actually not sure. I like hitting that one because it's turns up, so that should put it on a 2-turn clock, yeah, okay, good. And then that one in the back, we can actually stall on the crossbow skeleton. So what we should do is... Okay, that's fine. I like that. We should probably kill that corpse in the front. Because if we were going to stall there, we kill the corpse in the front, and then make the crossbow skeleton just spam bayonet jab while we spam heals for like 2 turns. Probably 3 turns, I don't know. Because anti doesn't hit hard enough to where it's like a big deal. So you could probably stall for a little bit on that thing. And having 4 or 2 or 3 antis spamming heals probably gets you more than you're taking in damage. We also skip the Curio. It's okay, I've done that too. I'm very familiar with just forgetting Curios in the room and then leaving. Especially with the torch stuff, we should have grabbed that. Should have grabbed that sarcophagus and then probably tossed our torches. Snake oil is pretty nice. I never noticed too until like recently that the top of the snake oil thing, it looks like an actual snake mouth, so it's got little fangs. I think that's interesting. We're not taking the snake oil, we probably don't need it. I see orange trinkets, I see blue ones. Blue ones are the hardest to get. So I'm assuming this file, I wasn't paying attention at the start, is probably somewhere in Veteran. That's what it feels like. Okay, nice. Hold on, I gotta pause it real quick. Okay, but yeah, it's nice to get the rare antiques. Those are worth quite a bit of money. Especially early game, like Apprentice, they're worth quite... Well, they're worth the same, obviously, but getting them in Apprentice means a little bit more just because of the cost of everything else. Subtitles on the top, I didn't notice that till now. Not my personal favorite, but I get it. We should be thinking about camping. We're probably camping after this. Man, we got some easy fights. That's good. You know, we could have got like double courtier, and then we're just crying. I was streaming today and I got messed up in a ruins run. I got like double courtier in the first 2 fights or something like that, and then I did a fight at the end where I got completely smashed by maggots. It's never happened to me before, but torchless and maggots are something else. These things can disease, which is pretty obnoxious. And then the stuns obviously are pretty devastating. It's like you can get stunned, they do a little bit of stress, then they get another turn so they're still alive, then they get a disease off, and it just sucks. These nervous stabs actually doing something. Damn, double? Does that go up because you have more antiquarians? I need antiquarian experts to tell me. Because I never considered that. I only take 1. I never take 4.
darkness holds
But like, do you
dominion.
get more antiques from drops? Like, does it scale by how many antiquarians you have? Because that's pretty cool. If it does, obviously. Got this one shovel in a dream.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength
Should be on the
to
right.
follow it.
So we're camping in here. Yeah. I think the most helpful thing that I've learned about this game, or one of the most helpful things, was learning how bosses spawn in general. And then just a few months ago, I was educated on the pattern of how they spawn if two rooms are equidistant apart. And that has been super helpful, because there have been several times where it's like, is it up, is it right, or is it down, you know, depending. And being able to know 100% makes things a lot easier, especially if you get some stupid hallway where there's like a hall battle, and then a room battle, and then you have to backtrack, then maybe a fight spawns, and then you have to do another fight, and then you're blowing all your camp buffs, and then you have to fight the boss.
Promise of safety.
It sucks. Okay, this is more normal for the ruins in terms of a team of enemies. There's a couple ways you can do this. You could just try and burst down the rank 3, and it looks like that's doing just fine. I was gonna say, the other consideration is to actually blight up the bone rabble and let that thing bleed out so it doesn't leave a corpse, and then the crossbow skeleton is stuck with bayonet jab. That's another thing you can do too. But the rabble just doesn't hit hard enough anyway. I think it only caps out at like 6 or 7 at Apprentice, but it's usually hitting for like 4. So that's pretty nice. Then also something else I learned is the shield skeletons actually can't guard at Apprentice, which is stupid.
Momentary abatement.
But it makes things a lot easier because you can play around it now.
Well struck.
These crits with the stress heals. Things should be toast. 2 turns? Yeah. Alright, so we should be either doing some kind of buff to stall or healing. Okay, I love the flash powder, perfect. Because we do stall here. And since we can stall, that means we can drop some heals. So if we don't really have to heal, actually. Also, did we go in the hallway without camping? Are we camping after? Did I just not catch that? So they're all dead. We need to start spamming heals. I would definitely prioritize rank 2. Even if rank 2 had less missing HP, it's just the fact that she's going to get hit more. So we need to keep her topped off.
Slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Some pretty aggressive torch manip, and I'm a fan of this. Swap it out. Nice. Okay, your antiques do, they have to, right? They have to scale by how many antiquarians you have, because we already have 21 minor antiques. That is not normal for a mission like this. That is way too fast. You usually get 20 in like a long or something, or if there's just a ton of loot curio.
Fierce. Terrible. Nightmare made
Dowry.
material.
Fierce. It's a lot of stress. Yeah, I guess we just go for damage, right? Necro melts pretty fast, especially on, I think this is darkest, so. Okay, we should not be hitting that skeleton at all. Like, it doesn't even matter. We have melee attacks that can reach into, I believe, rank 3. And then we have Blight. And the Blight stack gets really strong, especially with 4 antis that are constantly, like, debuffing him. So we should just be stacking Blight. We'd be doing 8 damage a turn with Blight, but then it's going to ramp. So each Blight is worth, what, 6? So if we stick 4, we're doing 24 damage with each of them. So if we just do 2 turns of full Blights, he's taking, what is it, 8 the turn after? And then the turn after that, it's 16. So it's already 24 damage. And then it's just, I think, 16 every turn after that. He's just going to die really quick. So that's the other interesting part too, with like how they roll off. You just need to do like Blights until maybe turn 5, and then you just leave them alone, and that's it. But there's also nothing wrong with doing it safe. Necro's also pretty nice because when he summons things, they don't get turns. They don't get actions the turn they're summoned. Whereas I think in Farmstead, I think Meller. So I think like later things that summon, I'm pretty sure they get turn or actions immediately, and that sucks. Something I wish Red Hook did not do. But that's okay. Look at that, we're at 16 damage. That was potentially dangerous because I could have Death Stored that Antiquarian, because those dudes actually hit kind of hard. They are definitely Ruins Leper material. But they don't stealth, at least yet, so that's pretty good.
The ground quakes.
It's interesting too, because like Antiquarian could have just went dodge spam here, and it would have been just fine. Like the two Antiquarians in the back spamming Invigorating Vapor. Actually, no, that's not that good right now. I forgot. Invigorating Vapors is not good at low level. I was thinking of Champion Antiquarian, so definitely not that strong. So we should just be going in with damage, especially because, God, Necro's so chill. He doesn't have any damage over time effects, I think, so you're never in danger of just getting crit to Death Door and then bleeding out on your turn, which is pretty cool. He's got some okay damage, he's got some pretty good stress moves, he summons dudes. Just takes him too long to get started. Like, by the time Necro's in this situation where he's in rank 4 and, you know, hitting you and he's out of range and stuff like that, with his 3 dudes, like I said, it's already turn 4 at this point. He's already taken half his HP, so he's pretty chill. That's the trap with Antiquarian. If we heal, we can't heal enough to really get out of range of any of these dudes. So, unless he's dying this turn, which I think he is actually, I was gonna say we should be just trying to kill him. It's gonna be pretty hard to lose someone here with all the dodge and stuff. The same person would have to get hit 3 times. So one time, like the second one, she gets put to Death's Door. See, look at that, almost did. And then the other 2 would have to kill her. But that didn't happen. So very cool. Easily done. It's always fun to see 4 anti, so thank you, Xanta, for sending this in. Let's see, Speedstone, some good trinkets. What else is in this video? Oh, we camp afterwards, okay. Onyx, yeah. So we don't need anything else since we're done here. We can just toss all our curio opening stuffs. Sadly, even though we had scouting, no secret room. That's big sad. Let's see what camp skills we hit.
A moment of respite. A chance to steal oneself.
It looks so funny.
The coming horrors.
Because the eye kind of like moves just enough. Oh, trinket scrounging! Yes! Wait, where's Scrounge? No! Ooh. There's something I forgot about. We never get to see trinket scrounge. Oh my goodness. It's the... yeah, the keys actually. Yeah. Cool. Do we have another one? Can we hit the lottery box, please? Like the Antiquarian loot box? I guess not. The sadness. Got some resupply. Alright, thank you, Bandage. Alright, I'm gonna pause when we hit the quirks here. So obviously, if you want to send me your own runs, join Discord and DM them to me. Make sure to DM them to me too, because that way I don't lose them. It takes me a while to get to these sometimes, but I don't... like I said, I don't lose them, so I can always go back in my DMs. Just 1 quirk? Tuckered out? That's garbage. Alright, yeah, so we're done here. Thanks, Xanta. Next time, more stuffs, and... I forget what the next viewer run is. I have like, I think 4 more to go through, but they've slowed down, so I've been able to catch up finally. And that's it for this one. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.